They turned back the clock to some of the golden eras in women's golf Thursday at Chicago Golf Club. First up at the inaugural U.S. Senior Women's Open, Hall of Famer JoAnne Carner made her peers proud. The 79-year-old striped the first tee shot to open the event. For fans who saw her win as Big Mama in the 60s, 70s and 80s, Carner's return made for an emotional start to the first rendition of this special event. She shot her age to lead a parade of grateful women relishing a chance to win, or just compete in, another USGA event. This is a who's who field of women's golf, USGA Executive Director Mike Davis said at the gala dinner earlier in the week. Instead of calling it the U.S. Senior Women's Open, let's call it the About Time Senior Women's Open. Hall of Famer Nancy Lopez couldn't play after undergoing knee replacement surgery, but she was on the first tee at today's start. She introduced players as the ceremonial starter. Hollis Stacy, whose 8 USGA titles include 3 U.S. Women's Open titles and 3 U.S. Girls Junior titles, savored starting in the first group with Carner and Sandra Palmer. It means a lot because, as I've said all along, the USGA has been the custodians of golf, Stacy said. They've done a great job, and they want to do what's right. Having a Senior Women's Open is the right thing to do, and they did it in such a first-class way, coming to Chicago Golf Club and making it first-class. Laura Davies and Julie Inkster, favorites to win the event, moved into early contention, but Elaine Crosby topped the leaderboard at day's end. A two-time LPGA winner, Crosby opened with a 3-under par 70. She plays the LPGA Legends Tour, but she had to play her way into the U.S. Senior Women's Open. She earned a spot in one of the 17 sectional qualifiers staged around the country. Full field scores from the U.S. Senior Women's Open. I wasn't exempt, but I think that made me work even harder to make sure I played well enough to get here, because it's history for women's golf, said Crosby, 60. We've worked really hard. I've been involved with the Legends Tour a lot, trying to help grow that, and I think this can really help. I think this is just awesome, and they've treated us very well here, and what a great venue to come to for our inaugural. Davies, 54, eagled the 18th hole to open with a 71, leaving her tied for second with Liselott Newman, the 1988 U.S. Women's Open champ, and Trish Johnson, a 3-time LPGA winner and 19-time lead winner. Davies said playing alongside Newman and Inkster made this first event even more memorable. 2 of my best friends on tour, really, Davies said. I was just saying I've known Lot for 37 years. We played junior golf together, and, Julie, since I turned pro she's been out here. So it's 2 constants in my career. Inkster, 58, opened with a 73. While players have been talking about how the week feels like a reunion, Inkster captured just how competitive these players remain. I hit the ball like crap, Inkster said. I've been hitting the ball so good, and I drove the bad really bad today. I played defensive all day. It's a long 4 days. I'm just ecstatic I shot even par. Helen Alfredsson, a 7-time LPGA winner, is just 2 shots off the lead. Golf Channel's Kay Cockerill, the 1986 and 87 U.S. Women's Amateur champ, is tied for 10th after opening with a 74. I feel like I've been treated like a queen here with the reception, Cockerill said. That seemed to be the theme among a field grateful for the new opportunity this event brings to women's golf. As is often the case, there were plenty of birdies to be found during the opening round of the John Deere Classic. Here's a look at the leaderboard after the opening round, where Steve Wheatcroft's late birdie barrage put him out in front at TPC Deere Run. Leaderboard: Steve Wheatcroft -9, Michael Kim -8, Johnson Wagner -7, Nick Taylor -7. Andres Romero -7, Joel Dahmen -7. What it means, most of the best scores of the day came from the morning wave, including Wheatcroft, who set the early pace despite only one top 50 finish this season. The veteran closed with 6 birdies in a row to cap an inward 29 and put him one shot clear of former Cal standout Michael Kim. While Kim later got within a shot of the lead en route to an opening 65, Wheatcroft was left standing alone at the end of the day as he looks to win for the first time on tour. Round of the day, Wheatcroft has struggled mightily this year, entering the week outside the top 200 in the points race and with his best finish coming in the opposite field event in the Dominican Republic. But he found an extra gear at the close of his opening round, pouring in 6 straight birdies from those 13 to 18 that included only one made putt longer than 15 feet. He split his scorecard evenly, making 9 birdies and 9 pars. Best of the rest, Michael Kim has struggled to reach the same heights as a pro that he achieved as a star at Cal, but an opening round 63 quickly put him in contention for his first career victory. Kim started on the back 9 and birdied 7 of his first 10 holes, with a bogey on no. 8 his only dropped shot of the day and the only thing preventing him from joining Wheatcroft in the lead. Biggest disappointment, it wasn't a great day for players who typically shine at this event. Zach Johnson, 69, and Steve Stricker, 70, both sit well off the pace, while defending champ Bryson DeChambeau appeared headed for a missed cut before withdrawing on the 16th hole because of a shoulder injury. DeChambeau was 3 over on his round on a day when most players went well into red figures and now will get an early start on his prep for the Open after a visit to a doctor to assess his injury. In storyline heading into Friday, it remains to be seen how well Wheatcroft can handle the top spot given his inconsistent form of late, but keep an eye on Francesco Molinari. The Italian cruised to an 8-shot win at the Quicken Loans National just 2 weeks ago, and now, playing against another watered-down field, he sits just 3 strokes back after an opening 65. Shot of the day, working with a 16-year-old caddy that he found via Twitter, Aussie Stephen Bowditch holed out for eagle from 172 yards on the par 4 fifth hole. Bowditch went on to shoot a 2 over 73. Quote of the day, "I'm so far banging the 8 ball at this point. I just want to keep playing golf, keep making birdies." Wheatcroft, who started the week ranked no. 209 in FedEx Cup points. Article tags, Steve Wheatcroft 2018 John Deere Classic 1 year after earning his maiden PGA Tour title at TPC Deere Run, Bryson DeChambeau withdrew during the opening round of the John Deere Classic because of a shoulder injury. DeChambeau struggled to get his title defense off the ground, making bogey on 3 of his first 9 holes. He appeared to tweak his shoulder or neck while hitting a par 3 tee shot early in his round, then could only muster a one-handed finish after his tee shot on the par 3 16th. Already 3 over on his round, he withdrew from the tournament without hitting another shot. Bryson DeChambeau has withdrawn from the JD Classic with a right shoulder injury. pic.twitter.com/VG7Kurtic PGA Tour at PGA Tour, July 12, 2018. After visiting the player performance trailer upon leaving the course, DeChambeau emerged to talk to reporters with his right shoulder in a large wrap. "On 2 I hit the shot out of the rough on the right, and I just didn't feel great after that," DeChambeau said. "I probably overloaded the muscle, my delt. And that's something I've got to work on in the future, get it a little stronger so that stuff doesn't happen." DeChambeau is in the midst of the best season of his career, with a playoff win at the Memorial serving as the highlight of 5 top 5 finishes since February. He currently holds the 8th spot in the U.S. Ryder Cup standings, with the top 8 after next month's PGA Championship qualifying automatically for Paris. DeChambeau withdrew from the Valspar Championship in March because of a back injury, but he told Golf Channel that he had not experienced previous issues with his shoulder. "I think I've just got to take care of my body a little bit better," he said. "I'm learning more and more each year, almost every month, pretty much ranked no. 22 in the world." DeChambeau is exempt for the Open next week at Carnoustie. He missed the cut last year at Royal Birkdale in his Open debut after earning the final spot in the field thanks to his John Deere victory. DeChambeau plans to consult with a doctor Thursday to diagnose the injury and doesn't expect to arrive at Carnoustie until early next week. "If I can get 3 or 4 days of good rest in, when I get there Monday night I'll evaluate it and see how I feel," he said. "Hopefully by next week I'll be ready to go." Article tags Bryson DeChambeau. 2018 John Deere Classic. JoAnne Carner was back in Big Mama mode after the Hall of Famer striped the first tee shot in Thursday's start to the inaugural U.S. Senior Women's Open. She went out and shot her age, but she was not as thrilled with her 79 as everyone else was. The 43-time LPGA winner showed how competitive she remains, expecting more. "I hit some good shots, but I hit some awful shots, really," Carner said. "I had some 6 and 7 irons into the greens and just really hit awful shots. One went in the water. I was fighting it all the way." Full field scores from the U.S. Senior Women's Open. Carner's score impressed most everyone else. Her return to the game was enough for fans of the golden era Carner represents. At Chicago Golf Club in Wheatonville, she walked 18 holes for the first time in more than a decade in competition. She made 4 birdies on the back 9 after posting 43 on the front 9. She shot 1 under over the final 5 holes to shoot her age. "It was good to get 1 under, but anyway," Carner said. Carner set the tone for his special day with her first tee shot. "I wasn't as nervous as I thought I would be," Carner said. "I think over here listening to the great national anthem sort of inspired everybody, so I got up and hit a good one to set up a historic day for women's golf." Article tags 2018 U.S. Senior Women's Open. JoAnne Carner. Turns out Stephen Bowditch was just trying to pay it forward when he found his caddy for this week's John Deere Classic via Twitter. A late entry into the field, the 2-time PGA Tour winner selected local high schooler Elias Frank, who will turn 17 on Friday, to serve as his caddy for this week's event. Bowditch told Golf Channel's Chantel McCabe that "it was something I've always wanted to do, ever since a chance encounter years ago. When I was Frank's age, I caddied for John Senden one time." Bowditch told McCabe, "It was a memory that I'll never forget. It really kick-started me a little bit and I've always wanted to do it. I thought it was a perfect opportunity. Just trying to make a kid smile for the week." Senden didn't remember having a young Bowditch loop for him at one point, but it turns out that he, too, was trying to pay it forward. In 1987, as a youngster, he caddied in a one-day event for Ian Baker Finch in Australia. "He came out for a practice round, and we walked around and followed him." Senden told McCabe, "I pulled his buggy up the last hole because it's a steep hill. On Sunday, when he turned up to play, there were probably 30 juniors who wanted to caddy for him. So he said to us, 'Who was the guy that pulled my bag up the hill?' I said, 'That was me,' so I caddied for him that day." 3 years ago, Baker Finch, Senden and Bowditch played the par 3 contest together at the Masters. Until this week, they had no idea the coincidence. "Pretty cool," Senden said.